onto it. I guess my question would be, does anyone else have any other business in front of the delegation? Does anyone have any other business in front of the delegation?
Yes, I would like to see if we can take a vote on the corporation.
Okay.
Second.
Yes.
Okay, so can you explain what your motion is?
My motion is to take a vote to see if we can get the incorporation on the ballot for 216.
Senator Soto, that was a second.
Second.
Okay. With that, with a motion and a second, then I will take up a vote on this moving forward. I want to add my 2 cents before we get into this. For the last 2 years, I've been here in this seat. I've worked with the members and the residents of Poinciana. I've tried to bring them everything possible that they've asked for. I promised that I would bring recommendations from the state, whether it was the different agencies, whomever needed to review this. I've brought back that feedback. I hope that feedback was constructive. We have another feasibility study in front of us today, but I see a bunch of holes. I see deficiencies. I see 15 of the 24 or so items that are necessary, and to move forward with a city and to ask for a city to go make a vote on something that just has too many holes, I'm just not willing to do. I do not currently support moving forward, but again, that's my comments, and I'll allow the rest of the delegation to either comment before we take a final vote.
Mr. Chairman, I will say that I'd love to make these people happy. I wish that that what they put together would work out, and I felt like it was true and correct, but I absolutely do not. I agree, and Mr. Diamond, with 30 years of experience, I've got 23 years of experience with the Board of County Commissioners and the Governing Board for the Water Management District. I understand what it takes to operate a local government, and it's just not going to happen. It would be the miracle of all miracles. As Mr. Diamond said, there's 411 cities in the state, and only 4 that don't have. Well, they've got other revenue sources, I'll assure you. They're not, operating on good looks. So this would be just miraculous if this happens. And when you look at what it takes to fund government services, and that's the part that they've got to understand, is you've got to have commercial, you've got to have industry for that tax base. The residential property will not carry itself. That is a class of property that receives the benefits. They're not a donor class. You've got to have the public supermarkets, the warehousing, the logistics at Saddle Creek Corporation, the Mosaics, the Ticos. Those are the folks that pay the bills. They don't send kids to school. They don't have a long list of wants and needs. They're in the business of producing stuff, and the best ones are the ones that export material and import dollars. Those are the ideal ones. But just trying to build a city on homes, residential property alone, is a disaster. It's going to cost people money, and it's going to lead to tremendous heartbreak for an awful lot of people, and I, for one, am not going to participate in it, so I'll be voting no.
Senator Soto, comment?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This issue has and always will be about the right to vote. There has been a wonderful debate here today, and we see both sides of the issue. This is exactly why the forum should be in an election and not by trying to deny people the right to have a choice in this. We have a large suburban population of nearly 50,000 people isolated from both the county seats, straddled between 2 counties, and there's arguments about whether they're getting their fair share. And so at the end of the day, I think the people should have a decision not to allow just developers and big homeowners and HOAs and other folks to have the thumb under citizens. Renters, homeowners, these should be the people who should ultimately lead the decision on the future of Poinciana. And so I am going to be voting yes today to give the people of Poinciana the right to vote, and I wish you all well in your debate.
Representative Cortez, got a comment, but I also want to request something of you. But I do not have a bill in front of me. So for the record, I'd like to have an explanation of what it is that we're voting on. We're not voting on a bill because we don't have a bill. We're voting on moving forward to support a bill that I'm assuming will be presented to the delegation. Yes, it will. So I guess can the delegation get an explanation of what it is that we're voting on? Well,
we're voting on giving the people of Poinciana the right to vote in 2016 for the incorporation. Hearing all the studies that they had, and basing on the last feasibility study said that the state's saying it's okay. And I feel that we should give them a chance to vote on it and then let the people say what they want to say. If they want it, they want it. If they don't want it, they say no. And give them a chance to vote on it.
Okay. Are we voting on it in its current form, currently submitted without
I
amendments?
guess we are.
Okay. Good. All right. With that, we're going to take a voice vote, and I'm going to jump right to it. Without Senator Denise Grimsley here and without Senator Kelly Stargel, they will be excused from this vote, obviously not here to conduct it. So I'll ask Senator Soto, your vote?
Yay.
Representative Cortez?
Yay.
Myself, Representative LaRosa, Chairman, no. Representative Cumby? No. Members, as you can see, the vote does not pass. We do not have a majority. This obviously will not move forward in the delegation this year. Before we conclude today, I'd like to appoint Representative Cortez, if you'll accept this, to be the point force for incorporation for Poinciana. Like I've said, the last 2 years, I've taken on this challenge. I've asked for a lot of the information to be submitted to my office. I've sent it out to the delegation. A lot of you folks have sent out information as well to the delegation. But as you see, this is a very complex issue. Lots of questions, lots of understanding that needs to be had. With that, I think it's best for our delegation to take the position of nominating someone to take that point, and I'm going to nominate Representative Cortez, if you'll so take on that challenge. And I'm going to ask, thank you, Senator Soto, that if, Representative Cortez out of this delegation will now run and run, I guess, point for the Poinciana Incorporation. He will coordinate with me currently and whomever our next chairman will be of the delegation, so that we can organize and hopefully expedite information throughout the delegation, throughout the our constituent
Can I add
bases.
something? I like the nomination. I'll take it. But I also would like to work with the HOA, the county, and the people of Poinciana, and to work on some other, if a corporation is not going to be the choice, that we can work to build Poinciana a better place to live and listen to the voice of the people. Because evidently, if they're here because their voice is not being heard. And they come to me, I listen to them. And I want everybody to listen to them, but I want things done correctly. So if they want to go on with the corporation, I'll be glad to make sure everything is in there and done correctly.
Well, Representative, I mean, you're in a position now that you can do that with this appointment to be the point or not. As you know, you and I and Senator Soto represent the majority of
Yes, we do.
Poinciana. I've been there and tried to do everything I can for the community. Whether it's the Poinciana Parkway, which we talked about earlier today, a major infrastructure project getting in and out of Poinciana. If it's a fire station, which we heard from some gentlemen earlier today, if it's the hospital, whatever it is, I want to help Poinciana. I've been there to help Poinciana. I do not believe that what's in front of us as far as becoming a city is going to resolve these issues. I think we're out there, we're doing the best that we can to help Poinciana. I don't believe Poinciana is not represented. They've elected us to be their representative, and I hope that that's based on the feedback that they've received after the last few years. So with that said, the only other business in front of us is our chairman moving forward. I've been at this position 2 years now, and I am willing to pass it on. I'm going to nominate Senator Soto to be the chairman of the Osceola delegation immediately following this meeting until we meet next. We got the second from Representative Cumby. So as we adjourn from here, Senator Soto, you'll now be the chairman of the Osceola delegation.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to give you the highest of compliments. Obviously, we agree on a lot of issues, and we all want Osceola to be successful. And whether we agree or disagree on something, you've always operated as a gentleman, as a professional, and I have a lot of respect for you, and I appreciate your nomination.
Thank you. Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. With that said, that is our business for our 2015 delegation meeting. Look forward to getting back at it and with our new chairman. Thank you. The meeting's adjourned.